Two types of people will never be able to work on their dreams. Number one, the people who become comfortable, who enter the comfort zone and never leave it, who settle, who convince themselves that where they are is good enough. As a result, they trade temporary comfort for the long-term emptiness without realizing it. And number two, the people who are paralyzed by fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment. That's why they never take action. They become stagnant, and there's nothing so detrimental to human soul as stagnation. Fear paralyzes them to such a degree that they stop taking action. They start procrastinating without realizing that it's going to be detrimental. So, a time comes when this fear starts sabotaging their lives and dreams. They unconsciously become their own worst enemies. So, how to overcome fear? So, turn off things that can contribute to the fear. Turn a deaf ear to the people or the naysayers and doubters, because all they can do is talk about how impossible things are, how negative things are, because that thing feeds into that fear. And also, when you decide to face your worst fear, you become unstoppable. I'm reminded of a man who wanted to conduct a special study in a special tribe in Africa, but the challenge was these people were headhunters, means they would take the heads of people, especially strangers. So he was afraid to take action. He reached there, he stayed there for years without establishing a relationship, and one night he was in his bed and he asked himself, why did I come here? What's my life work as a missionary? And he said, to study these tribesmen. And he was passionate about it. He had great passion for it. And then he said, what's the worst thing that they could do to me? And he said, kill me. And then he said, I'm ready for that. Because his passion was greater and stronger than the fear itself. So next morning he went there. He started talking to these people. And it turns out they responded to him. They threw a welcome mat for him. And when years later, people came to see what his progress was, they found him positive. And they asked, how did you convert the relationship from being hostile to that of being positive? And he said something I think surpasses every fear. And that is, when life can no longer threaten you with death, what else is there to fear? And I want to ask, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest fears that we have are not life or death fears. They're not those kind of fears. The biggest fear that we have is our public humiliation. So the story teaches us two lessons to overcome fear. Number one is passion. When you are passionate about your dream, that passion will push you past that fear. And number two is imagine the worst case scenario. Whenever you have fear of anything, imagine the worst thing possible. For example, if you have fear of failure, imagine the failure. Imagine what could happen if that thing took place in your life. And then ask this thing to yourself. Will it kill me? Will I die? And majority of the times the answer is no. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the right time and the right moment to work on your dreams and face the worst fear in your life that has paralyzed you for years.